Hello everybody, I'm Brett and welcome to Nightwood Guns. Today I'm going to be going over my #1 most requested gun for review, the Sig Sauer P365. Now I'm going to come right out and say it. In my opinion, the Sig P365 is the single best micro carry gun on the market. But if you're not careful, this is a gun that could get you killed in a self-defense situation. More on that when we get to the negatives on the gun. If you like what you see in this video and you want to help fund the channel, be sure to check me out on Patreon, it's in the description. If you're new to my reviews, I typically like to look for things in a gun that other reviewers might miss to differentiate myself from other channels. But with the Sig P365, that gets pretty difficult because its pros are extremely obvious, and that's why it's the best-selling handgun in America. It's an extremely small gun, it's very thin, it has a decent capacity, and it's chambered in a full power cartridge. It's also incredibly versatile. It has a 10-round flush fit magazine that is perfect for pocket carry. If you're looking at carrying this thing inside the waistband, then you're going to want to upgrade to the 12-round pinky extended magazine that allows you a full firing grip on the handgun. And it also offers you increased capacity, which is great. And as if that wasn't enough, Sig also offers a 15-round extended magazine to carry as a spare mag. This little gun also has a lot of features that bigger guns normally have, which really adds a new sheen of consummate professionalism that really gives the gun a big boost. It's got front slide serrations, it's got tritium night sights with a big green dot up front with tritium in it, and very discreet dots in the rear, along with serrations on the rear sight to cut down on glare. It's really easy to pick up the front sight in daylight, and it's also easy to align the sights in low light. The stippling on this gun is very grippy, but it's not so aggressive that it hurts your hand when you apply the necessary grip pressure to control the firearm. The magazine release also has a nice ergonomic shape to it that makes it easy to hit to eject a magazine when you need to. This gun also has a couple of details that I feel go overlooked that make this such an excellent little shooter. First of all, the curved trigger actually has a flat face to it, and because of that, your trigger finger rests perfectly in the middle of it, and with that flat surface, you don't find it rolling around while you're shooting, throwing off your shots. Another detail that goes largely overlooked is this gun is very cleverly undercut in the trigger guard. Now, most of the time when people look at this, they just see a unique geometric design to the trigger guard. But in fact, if you look at it, while it's flat here and angles down, it comes back up and it's actually undercut. And with the smooth part of the grip right here that isn't stippled, it allows you to get a high, comfortable grip on the firearm to help mitigate some of the felt recoil, since it is such a tiny gun. Now let's go over some of the negatives, including the thing that could have gotten me killed in a self-defense situation. So #1 for the negatives is the proprietary rail. Now I understand why they did it. The Picatinny rail is too wide, it would have added too much width to the gun, and the light choices really are limited with how little space there is on the rail. But proprietary rails really irritate people. HK learned this, and I hope Sig learns it with this one. And while it's not detrimental to the gun, it's worth mentioning in the negatives. And the second negative is it's a small gun. And when you get a small gun, you run into small gun problems. Since a smaller gun is lighter weight and has less surface area on the grip, it's going to jump around more in your hands, which means you're going to have to apply more grip pressure to be able to shoot quickly in a defensive situation. So prepare yourself for more recoil and more muzzle rise. Also with a small gun, the controls are smaller. Don't plan on using the slide catch as a slide release on this guy because it's just not practical. If you're a bigger guy or gal with bigger hands, you're gonna find this gun never locking open on the last shot for you because with your support hand, you're most likely going to be riding the slide catch. But like I said, small gun problems, just something to be aware of. And finally, the thing that could have gotten me killed in a self-defense situation that I ran into with my Sig P365. This P365 had a birth date of February 2019. I waited for Sig to iron out the problems with the broken trigger return springs, the broken firing pins, the spring sticking out in the grip and scratching the magazine. I waited for all that stuff to pass. I ran 500 rounds of Full Metal Jacket 115 grain through the gun with 0 problems. But the second I tested my self-defense ammo in it, every single hollow point of every single bullet weight that I put through this gun malfunctioned. It jammed the nose of the round into the feed ramp, completely locking the gun up. I had to strip the magazine, cycle the round out, put the magazine back in, rinse and repeat. It was every single round, not every once in a while. Now Sig gets major kudos here because I sent this back to Sig. They had it back to me in 6 days, completely fixed, cycling all ammo. But while it's unfortunate, the vast majority of gun owners are not going to test their firearm with self-defense ammo. I know a lot of people, and especially a lot of new gun owners, that either A, aren't going to test fire their gun at all, or B, are only going to put target ammo through the gun and then load it up with hollow points. If I would have been one of those gun owners where I test fired it with FMJs, loaded up my hollow points and carried it, if I needed this thing, I would have had one shot and it would have malfunctioned. and it's not a tap, rack, clear. I would have had to strip the magazine and clear it, put it back in, rack it, and then get another round out. This happened with every magazine, with every hollow point. And while SIG took care of me in record time, people's lives depend on these little carry guns. And SIG quality control needs to look out for this stuff. So if you walk away with one thing from this review, this is the single best micro carry gun on the market. But for the love of God, test your self-defense ammo in this gun to make sure it runs. In fact, test all of your guns with the self-defense ammo that you're going to carry. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I'm Brett, and this was Nightwood Guns. Nightwood out.